Well, good evening, good evening, everybody. Don't worry, Tommy is coming. Tommy is coming. Oh, I better just get rid of that. Sorry, Tommy is definitely coming. He's doing what he should be doing, and he's spending a bit of time with his family, so he's a little bit delayed. But don't worry, he will be here at 10 o'clock. So that means we're going to have a big build-up. I'm going to be here waffling for an hour, but I never waffle because I always talk sense and always talk good stuff. So basically, oh, by the way, questions about the men of England. I'm gonna get that song so that we can try and get it to #1 by Christmas. I'm going to do something with it over the next couple of weeks, hopefully before the event. It is going to be played at the event as well, which is great. And then hopefully we'll try and get it so that people can buy it online. I just need to work out how to do that because it's the first song I've written. I wrote a song years ago and some guy put the music to it because I like writing stuff. I like doing stuff with words. But that's the first song I've written and published myself. So I just need to work out how to get it from where it is now to basically selling it. And if anybody's thinking they're going to steal it, they can't because it's copyrighted. Anyway, so there you go. So look, that's that. Welcome to everybody that's on. Welcome to Paul's people, because I know there's loads of people jumping on from Paul Thorpe's. I can tell because there's 2,000 people watching this live stream now, which is absolutely fantastic. Share this because Tommy is coming on. He's coming on at 10 o'clock. Share this with as many people as you can. And let's get a really good audience because there's some really important stuff we've got to go through. One of the main purpose of this live stream tonight, apart from to have a chat with Tommy, because I haven't caught up with him really since online. We haven't done a live stream together, I think, since July of last year. So, because obviously prison, and then all the other stuff that's happened since then. So share it with as many people you can. Just get it all over the place. I know this is on Twitter, so if you're watching it on Twitter, I was going to say something else there, wasn't I? If you're watching on Twitter, get it shared on Twitter. If you're watching it on YouTube, share it with all your friends. Get it all over all your social medias, because what we're going to do tonight, apart from having a catch up and talking about what's happened, we're going to be talking in a lot of detail about the march on the 13th September, because it's really important that we know exactly what's happening, exactly where people go, and exactly what time they need to go. So I'll be getting everybody on. We'll all be looking at it on Google Street View, and we'll literally do the walk round up to the start point. I mean, everybody else knows where we're going from then. In fact, do you know what? We'll do the whole thing. We'll do the whole route. If you haven't seen the route that Tommy did, because it's just to make sure everybody gets in the right place at the right time. Because one of the things that we have had problems with in the past, and it's not a bad problem, is too many people at the front of the march. So what we need is to find a way to prevent that happening and get people there safely. It's going to be, do you know what, guys? It's going to be an absolutely phenomenal day. I mean, we're talking we could have 1 million people there. And that will be the biggest patriotic march there has ever been in the United Kingdom. Even if we had 200,000 there, that would be the biggest patriotic march there's ever been in the United Kingdom. And the great thing is, if you haven't been to one of our events, please get there, because the reality is it's not like it's not like people try to paint the picture. If you've never been to one of our marches, there's such a good atmosphere. There's a camaraderie, there's a brotherhood, if you like, or sisterhood, or whatever you want to call it. It's a family atmosphere. Everybody comes together. And instead of walking around and thinking, I wonder what that person thinks, I wonder, does that person agree with my politics, I wonder, am I going to get ostracized by that person for talking about what I really believe? You're among friends. You're among people that think exactly the same as I think, as Tommy thinks, as Ben Habib thinks, because we're all on the same page. Paul Thorpe, we all believe the same things. And I think the truth of the matter is, it's almost like all the planets are aligning at the minute. I'm going to talk a little bit about, and if you're on my channel a lot, you'll know exactly what I believe and why I believe it. But if you've come across from Paul's and you're not normally on my channel, then obviously it's going to be fairly new to you. But there is a method in our madness. This is a plan. And again, obviously, I'll talk to Tommy about this when he comes on. But there is a plan in place that we've been working on, probably, if we're honest, since 2018. The first time we tried to do this was in 2018, and guess who scuppered it? Guess who sunk the plan? Nigel Farage and his minions in UKIP. It's as simple as that. So in 2017, 2018, we had football lads, we had veterans, we had Tommy, all his supporters, we had all the good people in UKIP. Everybody got behind Gerard Batten. Gerard Batten welcomed Tommy in, and they were going to. The party was going to be looking at these issues that the whole country is now literally boiling over. And if that had worked, obviously in 2018, and we were all instrumental in putting this together. I was talking to Gerard sort of October 2017, and it took some work to get it all together. But if that had come together in 2018, we might not be in the mess we're in now. So what we're doing right now is absolutely the last chance saloon. If we don't make this work between Unite the Kingdom, the Pledge, the Citizens Journalists, obviously primarily leading the charge from Urban Scoop, but all the other citizen journalists, all the other podcasters, we had a meeting in where was it? I'm not going to say where. It was somewhere in central London last year, and there was, I think, about 20 people in the room. And what we're doing now was really birthed out of that, because we came up with a pledge, we came up with the Unite the Kingdom movement, and I genuinely think if it wasn't for those two things, I think it would be very, very difficult for Advance to be where it is. I think Advance will get so much energy and so much support from what we're all jointly doing together that it's going to make a massive, massive difference to the way this thing works. So let me just have a quick look at this. So you need a big, do you know what? That is an absolutely superb idea. I mean, we had a piper, I don't know if you remember at the, in the Trafalgar Square event, we had a piper, a lone piper led that. And he was brilliant. Absolute fella from Belfast, great guy, Mark, and he did an absolutely superb job. And, but that would be a male voice choir would be absolutely fantastic singing that song. There's a lot we can do with that song, and again, if it takes off, I want to see that as the anthem of our movement, because the song itself, the men, Where Are the Men of England song, 2018, Tommy was getting dragged through the courts. He was at the Old Bailey, and I'd flown in early in the morning, early flights, and I flew out the same night, and I got to the staging area, and I'm thinking it's probably September, October 2018 or 2019, one or two. But anyway, got to the staging area, and there was a lot of elderly people in the crowd. There was a lot of women in the crowd. There's hardly any men. And obviously it was a working day. So I get that. It's a working day. People have got to go out and work. But I just thought, where are the men of England? And I thought about what had happened in England with the you know what I'm talking about. I don't like using the word grooming gangs, but the grooming gangs and the systematic abuse of a generation of English children, predominantly white. So there were a few Sikhs were abused by the grooming gangs, but predominantly white. And the Sikhs, back in I think it was the late 90s, the Sikhs had a real go at some of the grooming gangs, and there was a lot of disorder, and a lot of Sikhs went to prison. And did serious amounts of time. And that's how corrupt the establishment. This isn't new. What's happening in this country is not new. And we can't just blame it on Labour. Labour are a massive problem. And they're detestable, they're vile, they're disgusting. They hate us and we hate them, right? But we can't just blame it on the Labour Party, because the Conservative governments were just as bad. The Conservative governments, for the last 14 years, have literally opened the floodgates and just completely destroyed our country. So anyway, I was looking out on the stage, and I just saw that there was very few men there, and I just made a speech on the spot, and I said, "Where are the men of England? Where are you?" And I still feel like that to a certain extent. The men of England are standing, and I'm saying that as a proud Englishman, and that's why I say it, because we all, me included, need a kick up the backside, because this is our battle, this is our fight, and if we don't win this fight now, we are in massive trouble. So to ask the question, where are the men of England, which is what that song's about, it was about everything. It was about corrupt policing. It was about the apathy among a lot of Englishmen, and looking back at what our fathers did and our forefathers did, and saying that's what we should be like. And back in 2018, I was watching Danny Tomo do a live stream earlier. It was very, very good. It's on, you'll get on YouTube. It's just a short one. And Danny was talking about the exact same thing. He says in 2018, yes, there was people and they were committed and they were going for it. But the reality is that there wasn't that hardcore commitment. There wasn't the hundreds of people going out onto the streets and doing what needed to be done. I'm not talking anything illegal. If you look at what the these hotel protests have achieved and the Raise the Flag protests, absolutely fantastic. And of course, in Northern Ireland, people have done this sort of stuff for years. And I was kind of laughing about it. I said, look, not laughing because it's not funny, but ironically thinking, well, there was a problem in Ballymena with abuse of three little girls, and the whole town stood up. And was there violence? Yes, there was. There was rioting, and I'm not condoning rioting. And I've said that it's understandable, but it's not justifiable. We understand why people riot, but what happened was the whole town came together. And I spent a month in Ballymena, across here in Northern Ireland. I spent a month up there talking to the people of Ballymena. Never spent much time there before. I didn't really have too many contacts up there, just a couple of friends. And I spent a month up there making the film about Ballymena. And every single person I spoke to was glad that the mafia that had been operating in their area with drugs and guns and so on and so forth had been put out of town. And again, I'm not condoning violence. I'm not suggesting anybody carries out violence. But if people had been a bit more muscular in speaking up and in protesting about what was happening with the grooming gangs, I just wonder, would they have managed to do it and this was going on in the 70s and the 80s. And I know that for a fact because in Middlesbrough, when I look back at what was happening in Middlesbrough, didn't understand what it was because I was a kid, but this sort of stuff was happening in Middlesbrough. The heroin dealing, the abuse of young white girls, it was happening in the 70s and 80s. So I think the scale of it is probably way, way bigger than we can ever imagine. So that's where the Men of England song came from. That was what it was about. And from the point of view of trying to do something with it, I am going to try and do something with it. So watch this space. I'll see what I can get done. I'll hopefully have it done by the time the demo happens, and we'll have it so that people can actually go on and buy it, and we get it to #1. And if our anthem went to #1 in whatever chart it is now, because I don't even know how the charts work anymore, but if our little anthem could go to #1, I mean, that would be an absolute coup. Let's have a look at some of these super chats here. Yeah, got that one. We need a big male voice choir. Just a thought, slight change from Men of England to Men of Britain and Advance UK may have a theme tune. Do you know what? I mean, Men of the UK, I mean, it doesn't have the same ring. I mean, it was specifically about England because primarily, and of course, it's not just England because we know there's been grooming cases in Scotland and Wales and in Northern Ireland as well. So there has been this happening across the whole of the UK, but it was predominantly the vast majority of the stuff was in the UK. And maybe you need to get some more inspiration and try and pen another song. Or am I going to be a one-hit wonder? I wonder. Oh, funny. Yeah, I was talking to Ricky Doolan 5 minutes ago. So I need to check if I might bring Ricky on later on. We maybe do a mammoth session tonight. But yeah, that's a good point, Albert Jensen. So just thought slight change from Men of England to Men of Britain and Advance UK may have a theme tune. I need to listen to the whole thing. Yeah, by all means, just listen to it back on the replay. Okay. Yeah, we can get Ricky to sing that. And again, Yam, thanks for the super. Get a pipe band or some kind of marching band. We talked a few years ago. We talked about getting sort of maybe it's a loyalist band to do something. But again, it's the logistics of it. It's getting everybody in the band, getting one piper across here, and he was a great guy, and he just did a perfect job of it. But getting the logistics of organizing hotels for people and flights and all that sort of thing is difficult. Could maybe get a band from Scotland or something, but it is difficult to do it. And again, for this demo, it's going to be too late. By the way, apologies for the glasses. These cost me £1.50 out of a pound shop. This is Tommy. What happens if the movement doesn't work? This is for Tommy. What happens if this movement doesn't work? Where does it leave us? we'll ask Tommy about that when he comes on. Remind me about that. If I haven't asked that when he comes on, remind me about it, because obviously when you're doing a live stream, there's a lot going on, there's a lot going through your head. So do come back to me, Maureen, and just give me a nudge on that, even just in the normal comments. This has to work. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This is the last chance to save the country peacefully. I know that sounds dramatic. This is the last chance to save the country peacefully. What we need. So let me just explain. And again, if you're new to the channel, you won't know this, but if you've been on the channel a while, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, because I waffle on about this all the time. This is my vision for the country, right? And I believe that Tommy agrees with me on this. Okay, so what we need, and this is, I guess, where if you're new to it, I'm going to have to kind of just explain it as simply as possible, because obviously I'm doing this all day, every day, so I know where we should be going. But what we need is this. So we need a political party. We've got that in Advance UK. Believe you me, I have spoken to Ben Habib for must be a year now, right? I don't bug Ben. I'm not one of those people that's in your face all the time. Ben and Tommy, very, very busy guys. I very rarely hassle them unless there's something really important that I want to talk to them about, because at the end of the day, I know how busy I am, and I'm kind of little, a small fish in a big pond. So Ben and Tommy, who I think are absolutely crucial to this movement, both of them are crucial to this movement, and that's why, apart from them both being really nice, good people, they are very, very vital. And what we probably need to see is a broadening out of the base of people that we've got. It's like when England used to play in World Cups or European finals or whatever it was, and Rooney would break his metatarsal, or I'm just going to say Lineker. We'll not talk about Lineker. We'll just pretend he never played for England. But one of the main. Right, here's David Vance. I'm going to bring David in for about 15-20 minutes. So I'm just going to bring David straight in here now. So David, good afternoon, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you loud and clear as well. Brilliant. David, Tommy should have been here right now, but he is doing exactly the right thing. He's got family, and he said, look, he says, obviously he's been away from his family for goodness knows how long, and he's got his kids, so he's coming on at 10 o'clock. So you coming on is actually a great help, David, because I said to Tommy, I says, how am I going to waffle for an hour?
I'll do it for you.
I know. Well, the thing is, David, we even though I'm not Irish, I've been living in Northern Ireland for long enough to have officially kissed the Blarney Stone, so I can talk. Yeah. I can talk as good as any Ulsterman or as good as any Dubliner, and. So Tommy will be coming on at 10 o'clock, and I want to go through it, because what I want to bring him on for is to go through a lot of detail about the march, so that people are watching can really understand. By the way, guys, this is a bonus. If Tommy had come on at 9 o'clock, David probably wouldn't have jumped on, because David was lending me his channel. So this is what we've got at the minute, David. We've got your guys, so we've got people coming on from your subscribers and followers. We've got all Paul Thorpe's people. We've got all my people. So the pool that we're looking at now, there's about 3,000 people on at the minute, but the pool that we're looking at is potentially 500,000 people when this is all played back, which is and we should do this more often, shouldn't we? We should do this more often.
There's a really important point here. If we collectively combine our strengths, we become even stronger. And at a time, Richard, where it's hard to get truth out there on a whole range of stuff. And yet, in our own individual ways, we kind of do it reasonably well. But when you add it together, the sum is greater than the individual parts. I think it's something that we should have been doing before now, but it's definitely something for the future. Most definitely.
It is, David, and it just came to me. And I mean, Paul's got his channel there. It's in the in the backstage, so nobody can see Paul. But obviously, all Paul's viewers can watch this, because hopefully it's working. It should be streaming straight to Paul's channel. So I mean, Paul's got, I think Paul's pushing 300,000 subs. You've got about 250,000.
Yeah, 264,000.
Yeah,
264,000
I'm
as
getting
of now.
I'm getting subscription envy.
Well, the thing is, I've got the scars. I've got the scars that justify it,
Well,
Richard.
so have I did. So have I
I tell
did.
you, we all do, don't we? Yeah. Well,
But I mean,
very
I
good.
think the what really snookered us was when we got banned from Facebook and Twitter put us in the sandbox for like we were literally in Twitter purgatory from like 2018 right the way through to well when Elon took over. We didn't
Yeah.
get any visibility on Twitter at all. And so that was a real pain in the backside. And so I'm up to about I think between all my channels I'm on about 70,000 or something like that. So it's growing slowly. It's like the tortoise and the hare, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, because you were banned before me then, because I was
Oh
banned
yeah,
in 2020,
yeah,
and from 2020 to 2022 again,
yeah,
when Elon took over,
mm,
I was restored. But
yeah.
yeah, a couple of years. The John the I was a man in the
Well,
wilderness,
man.
wandering through places like Getter and Rumble and
Yeah,
places like
and,
that.
and and listen, I mean, don't get me wrong. I actually love those channels. I'd love those channels to be more
Yeah, they're good.
successful. I hate having to come on these. Not obviously not X now because Elon's took over and it's like he's Elon. If Elon retweets one of your one of your tweets, it's like you've won the social media lottery. You get like 1.5 million
Oh,
views if Elon retweets it.
I,
You know,
I, I
so
saw.
guys, on just let me because I've got to I've got to jump about and talk because I forget. If you're on Twitter, right, I just want to check that this has gone up. I've just reshared the Men of England on Twitter and tagged Elon in. So let me just make sure this is on there and I'm not making myself look stupid. If it's not, it just shows that's probably why I haven't got a massive follow. But yes, there you go. It's there. No, it's not. No, it's not. Oh, crumbs. Okay, forget that. Cancel that. We'll do that again. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm actually going to share the Men of England on Twitter and I'm going to tag Elon in it. And when you see that, I want everybody that's on Twitter to reshare the Men of England to Elon because we want Elon to hear that song and retweet it. Because what we were saying, I mean, guys in the comments were saying, look, that should be number one at Christmas. Can you imagine if that was the Christmas number one? Where are the Men of England? I mean, can you imagine the Labour Party HQ
Well,
reaching for the sick bags and the smelling salts?
it has to be said, like Elon Musk intervened in British politics in the first couple of weeks in January.
Yeah,
And then he kind of went quiet.
we
And
met.
now,
Yeah.
and now he's come back with a vengeance.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
and like people can take their own views on Elon, Richard,
Yeah.
but he is the wealthiest man in the world,
Yeah.
very powerful, and more to the point, he's in control of this amazing X platform,
Yes.
which gives us, massive reach.
Yeah.
Millions and millions of people can hear and read what we think because of Elon and his engagement in the UK on a whole range of topics. But I mean, he's certainly somebody's talking about the great dictator speech. Oh yeah. You should also, by the way, if you want great speeches, go and read Oliver Cromwell's speech to Parliament in 1643, whenever it was. And you've sat there for so long. Go in God's name and go now. I mean, history keeps repeating itself. Be it
does.
Charlie Chaplin's speech, The Great Dictator, be it Oliver Cromwell, and I think the good thing is, Richard, we can get this stuff out through these platforms, and that's what
this is a unique time in history, and I think unless we people were saying, Dave, before you came on, they were saying, look, what's the plan if this doesn't work? There is no plan B. Like, this is absolute last chance saloon. Advance UK, Unite the Kingdom, the Pledge, all of our combined social media clout, all the YouTubers, all the people that, because sometimes you do stuff, you think, oh man, I'll waste my time here. But you're not, you never. And again, just to encourage everybody that's involved in this movement, by the way, Pauline, thanks for that. And again, thanks for the supers. Everyone that's given supers, like it makes a massive difference. So it's massively appreciated. So, if I don't thank you personally, I apologize for that. But we do, it helps massively. But, it's the combined effort of everybody. And if we get 1 million people on the streets of London, David, in 13, that's not even 20 days, it's 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks. Yeah, it's 13 days. Yeah, it's because it's the 13th. So it's, it is going to be absolutely huge, and
Mm.
I'm excited about. I've got a bit of trepidation because a crowd that big is difficult to control, but I think we've got the ability to do it. I think we know what we're doing. We've done that many other events. We know exactly what we're doing.
What was the biggest crowd previously that you've been overseeing, Richard, on the previous Tommy rallies?
Now, again, I always underestimate David, right? Not that I'm pessimistic. I'm not pessimistic, but I just maybe my wife always says to me, she's not pessimistic. She's realistic, right?
Realistic,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so I think we probably had 90,000 in Trafalgar Square,
Last
maybe. Yeah,
summer.
on 27th of July. I think that was the biggest one that
Big
we've
crowd.
had, right? I think October and February.
Were smaller, weren't they?
October was quite big. I'd say October was pushing mid-30s maybe, and
Yeah.
then I think the one in February was quite big as well. I mean, maybe it's about 20. So they've all been big crowds, but I mean, everybody's going to this, David. I mean, absolutely.
Mhm.
I'm talking to people all over the country. There's people in Northern Ireland. There's people going from, I'm not going to say what estates. There's people going from Roman Catholic estates in Belfast
Mm.
and Protestant hard loyalists and hard Republicans, and they're going together.
Mm. Which is
I
good.
mean,
Yeah.
who else could do that? Who else could bring, Republicans
But
and loyalists together?
But this is one of the things you and I have talked about as well.
Yeah,
That for me, one of the lessons coming out of the COVID tyranny
yeah,
and all that is that it's important that we find things to unite us.
yes,
And
yes,
back then we were uniting against their diktats over masks and
yeah,
stay away from granny and all that stuff. And of course, you must take the jab. And
yeah,
but to me, that was just the learner course.
yeah.
It's broader than that, isn't it? And that's what you're talking about as well.
Oh, totally, totally.
That's
I
what
mean,
that's what uniting the kingdom literally means.
it
It literally
is.
means you bring it
And
all of us.
it's so threatening to the. I mean, I was watching Alex Phillips and what's that blonde-haired woman called that's Richard Tice's
Oh,
partner?
Isabel Oakeshott.
Oakeshott, right? Okay, Isabel Oakeshott. So I was watching Alex Phillips and Isabel Oakeshott talking about the Fabian Society, and they were like, and I said, well, I've just found out about this group called the Fabian Society. I was going, woman, you're a journalist. I mean, I like Alex Phillips, right? And Isabel Oakeshott says, oh, I've never heard of that. It can't be important. And then, Alex Fair Play, she said, well, their logo's like a wolf in sheep's clothing,
Oh, yeah.
and which it is. And,
Mm.
the Fabian Society is, if that was a right wing group, it would be prescribed.
Yep.
It would be illegal because it would be, well, I don't even know if there is anything that's right wing, but it would be like Nazism, something like that. I mean, the Fabian Society, it is hardcore communists, and everybody in the British cabinet is a member of the Fabian Society. We have got to get rid of these rats, David. We have
Mm.
got to get them out, and
Mm.
any of them that have committed crimes, including treason. I think if Advance, well, sorry, let's say when Advance get power, because I don't trust Farage. Farage can't do this. When Advance get power, we have got to hope that Advance actually bring the treason laws back and retrospectively charge some of these people. Because I think what they've done, including Boris Johnson, is treasonous, especially what
Mm.
Boris did to Northern Ireland, and with
It's
the
it's been
protocol now.
on it's been ongoing for years,
Of course.
the tax treason. But I think one of the great things again in the
Yeah.
past week is whenever Elon Musk piles in and
Yeah.
says this is treason,
Yeah.
and he's dead right, and everybody
Yeah.
I'm sure watching this would
Yeah.
agree. When a
Yeah.
government actually says we're putting the rights of migrants before our own people,
Yeah.
it's treason.
It's
I would say Paul. Is Paul going to join us here? Paul
Did he
Thorpe.
say that in the comments? Did he?
Yeah, in the studio chat.
No, he's not. That's just his. I think that's just his thing from the thing. I don't think he's in unless he said something. Paul,
Yeah.
if you want to jump on, give me a ring. Did he say he wants to comment? Oh, here he is. There we go. The three
Evening,
amigos.
evening, boys. How we doing?
Listen, do you know what,
Paul?
Paul?
Yeah.
This is. We were just saying today. I don't know if you're watching. We're saying to David, this is the way to do this. The combined effort of,
Absolutely.
we have a reach, and like I said to David, I'm getting I'm getting subscriber envy, right? I've only got a few. I've only got a little.
I know,
Don't
Rich.
worry,
Richard, we stayed in a hotel together. I know already. You don't have to tell
Paul,
me.
what happened in that hotel stays in that hotel, and don't you forget it.
But it's a good point. It is a good point, Paul. Collectively, we do have great. When you add all our bits together, the reach we have.
Yeah.
It puts a lot of the media companies to shame.
Absolutely,
It
absolutely.
Totally. I mean, we've got 3,200 people watching this now, and do we need Tommy on? Are we going to have Tommy on?
Well, I've only hopped on because
Squeeze him in for a few moments.
Yeah,
we'll maybe let him come on at 10. If he gets here for 10 o'clock, we'll let him in.
Yeah.
Guys, can I just say, anyone watching this evening, please make sure you join Advance UK, our party. This is the party for the people. We are the people. Please make sure you join. Do not turn down this opportunity.
Yeah. Paul, do you know what? I mean, one of the things we were saying is people in the chat were saying, what happens if this doesn't work? That's not an option. It's like one of those things. We've burnt the boats on the beach. Do you know what I mean? We've landed. We've formed a bridgehead, but we burnt the boats. There's no going back. Like, if this doesn't work, we are absolutely. It's unthinkable.
Guys, you know what? At the end, I look at it like this. Look how many people voted Brexit. Every single one of those people and more are potential members of Advance UK.
Yeah.
All we need to do is get the message through. And this is how we do it. I mean, look, the way I see it is this. I would rather go down fighting than have regrets afterwards. And Advance UK are our best way forward, without a shadow of a doubt. It's our only way forward.
It's the only way. I was going to say that, Paul. It's the only way. There's no other way. I mean, and again, there's a lot of exciting stuff. And again, I'm not on any inner circle or anything like that, but there's a lot of exciting stuff that I'm picking up that's happening with Advance that no other party's done. And no, I don't think any other party's managed to do what. I mean, Advance hasn't even registered as a party yet, and it's got nearly 30,000 members. And in fact, again, Ben could. I said this on a stream the other day. The membership numbers, it says, like, if you're joining now, it's about 35,000, something like that. But obviously that's because of the way the system's set up and because of people that join Integrity. So basically, Ben could have been sharp and said, okay, there we go. Look, the membership looks like it's got over 30,000. But again, he's showing absolute integrity. He's saying, no, until I have 30,000 that have actually joined Advance as members, he could have gone nuclear about 3 or 4 weeks ago, but he didn't. And that speaks volumes about Ben. And, we've got men in this movement, Tommy, Ben, and others, who are completely unique. And this country's never seen anything like this, because I count Ben, he is educated in an elite way. He went to an elite school, an elite university, but that's not what Ben's like. He's, I saw somebody comment the other day, this party's not working class enough for me. No, this party is working class. I mean, Paul, you weren't born in a silver spoon in your mouth. Ben wasn't born in a silver spoon in his mouth. You weren't either, Dave. None of us were. So, and we're all massively involved in this. And, Tommy said it very well. Tommy said, I trust the people that have basically, kind of talked to him about it and said, this is the real thing. Because I've been involved in parties. I've been involved in UKIP twice. I've been involved in Fool Me Once, Fool Me Twice, and all that. I've been involved in For Britain, and we all know what happened with For Britain, and we were all involved with For Britain. All of us got involved. Tommy was involved. David, you were involved. We all. I think you were as well, Paul, weren't you?
I was a member. Yeah.
So we've all been down this road before, but this is totally different. There's an energy about this. There's. I think Ben, and we've got a big Ben up, right? I think Ben has got very, very unique leadership qualities, because he's not bombastic, he's not shouty, he's not, aggressive. But my goodness, is he a leader? I mean, do you remember?
And he
Sorry, go on.
listens. He also listens.
That's
This
what I
is
mean.
the thing. I mean, over the years, I've dealt with many political leaders, and
Yeah.
many of them don't listen at all.
Yeah.
But what I respect most about Ben is that he will listen to people. He mightn't always agree, but he listens,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
shows. And Paul, I think that shows, respect. The other thing I
Yeah.
would say is when I look at the sort of people getting involved in Advance UK, and they do say you can, you judge people by the company that they keep.
Yeah.
Now, I look at all the folks here and the people in Advance UK, and then I look at some of the people in the Reform leadership and the company that they keep. And oh boy, is there a chasm, So you're right. I mean, we do need we need this new thing, and we need the change, because I think 2029 is it. We have to make
It is.
fundamental. We need to bring our country back by 2029, or I don't know what you think, Paul, but I don't know how it could go much beyond that.
No, I absolutely, I agree 100%. What I can say is this: is that being fortunate enough to be inside Advance, and what I see inside, we are watching the world's biggest skyscraper being built with the very best and biggest foundations that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This party is being over-engineered right from the very start.
Yeah.
And the way it's being set up, even to the point where people like myself within the college, we can hold the leadership to account. If Ben doesn't deliver, those of us within the college can hold Ben to account. And ultimately, if we didn't like what we saw, the college could potentially change the leadership. You can't do that with Reform, for example. Reform is Nigel Farage, and Nigel Farage is Reform, along with Zia Youssef. So what I'm witnessing here, what I find so exciting is watching the foundations being built, the professionalism in which they are being built, the vision that is there, the plans that are in place. It is all so very impressive. I wish I could tell you more, but believe me, it's exciting.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is, Paul, I think I'll just read a couple of these. The Scottish Drum and Pipe Band, Clanadonia, are real men. They truly are real. Yes, yeah. I think we've seen those with their beards and their kilts and the big drums. We've seen them. Yeah, you won't mess about with those grisly characters. Sure, you wouldn't. But no. And then we've got someone. Is that the Crusaders football team that we want back, or is that something? I think
it's Crusaders. We actually need. we might need a crusade. Well, in a metaphorical sense.
Yeah.
This is a crusade.
No, I know. I was being funny. No, listen. I get what you're saying. I mean, I think resisting Islam, I think definitely is something that is very, very important, and we cannot let our country fall to that ideology. I think so. In the sense of how we do that, obviously we've got to be very, very practical and very, very clever. And again, what we don't want to do is become evil. We've got to, when you're fighting evil, you've got to fight evil with good. So you don't go down the road of doing crazy stuff. But we do have to resist. We do have to resist, because if we don't resist, we will be overrun, and we've got to do whatever it takes. And I think the first step is getting Advance into power. That's the first thing. If I could just say, Paul, about one of the things that I think, and I know people have been sick of me rattling on about this, for a long time. I would love to be an actual crusader. I clicked on that. I hadn't even read it, and when I saw it, I thought, "What have I just clicked on?" That's actually very funny. I'm gonna put my glasses on before I click on any more of these comments here. In fact, what
can I just say, Richard, that as that beard grows, you're looking more and more like Tim from Fast Jet Performance's older brother.
Oh, is he looking like me, Paul? I mean, I've had a beard for a long time. And I think actually I've got more dark hair than Tim's got. So right. Is he really?
Well, I mean, if you're lucky you got hair. I mean, some of us have forgone the delights of hair, thanks to the stress of being in this game for too bloody many years. Anyway, never mind.
Oh man, I'm going to address this, right, and I want to address this because It's something. It's in the comments, and I'm going to put it up on the screen. But it's absolute. In fact, no, I'm not going to address it. I'm going to leave that. Actually, I'm going to leave it. So Michelle's just joined Advance. But what I was going to say, Paul, was the pledge. We when you look at what's happened with Advance, basically the pledge was, I believe, the seed for Advance. Unite the Kingdom, I believe, was a seed for Advance. So I don't think Advance would necessarily have happened without the pledge and without your helping Ben to make those decisions as well, Paul. I think there's been something going on which is bigger than even Advance, and I think the pledge has to stay there, because the whole point of the pledge, you're talking about the council, the college holding Ben to account. Well, what the pledge will do is hold everybody in any political party to account. And if we as the pledge, and we know what the doctrine of the pledge is, if we see a political party that we're supporting deviate from that, even if it's Advance, and we love Advance and we love Ben, but if something goes wrong, and there's something goes wrong in the college, or something goes wrong in the party, then it would be the pledge's job to call that out and say, guys, we can't support you anymore. And I think that's a really important point, because that's why the pledge was set up. So just because there's a great political party there, which I wholeheartedly support, to me, the pledge still sits above politics, which is what we always said. It's not, the pledge isn't subservient to Advance, and Advance isn't subservient to the pledge, but the pledge is there to call political parties to account. And if Advance goes wrong, I wouldn't miss a heartbeat and say, no, this is not what this is meant to be about.
Well, look, I think all of us can agree, and particularly those watching will say that one thing we're all sick and tired of is lies. Politicians, speaking with full tongue, as it were, telling us one thing, delivering us something completely different. What I can absolutely guarantee you with Advance UK is that whatever they promise, they will deliver. Whatever we promise, we will do our best to deliver. We're not going to try and pull the wool over anyone's eyes. That's not what any of us are in this for. We genuinely want to do our best for people.
I get that, Paul, but what I'm saying is, even with that, even with all the best intentions, one of the things that does worry me, right? And I'm going to say this, and I'm not being negative, but I'm going to say this, right? The college, with the size of it, right, with what if it's going to be 50 or 100, even 50 people, it's going to be very difficult to not get infiltrators in there. It's going to be very difficult to not get malevolent players in there. So there needs to be a mechanism. If you get some bad actors in there, where people, and I don't know how that works, where people can be expelled. And I think the best way of preventing bad actors getting a foothold in the college is get them all to sign the pledge. Because if they can't sign the pledge, then surely they shouldn't be in Advance UK. That's how I feel about it. So I'm just throwing that mud at the wall.
Richard, that's certainly something that I could put forward. You can put that forward, Richard. You know, I mean, look, you're good friends with Ben. You can put that forward.
No, I will. But I think, again, if we're gonna talk about things, we should be able to talk about anything transparently and openly and say, look, as Advance develops, and I am massively positive about Advance. I think it's the only show in town, and that's why I'm protective of it as well. And I'm not going to be scurrying around in the shadows trying to manipulate things. I'd rather just get it out there, say, I think everyone in the council the college should sign the pledge, and basically, then that gives another layer of protection from you getting wrong-uns in there. Because if you sign something and then you do something that's completely contrary to that, if you get someone that's an out-and-out racist that's hidden it very well, if they've signed the pledge, you can say, you signed this document, so where's your integrity? So that was what the pledge was for in the first place, Paul. And I don't think we should forget about the pledge.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's massively, massively important. And
can I just also say at this point that because Advance UK is in, as Paul says, it's sort of building it up from the bottom up, this major phase. It's tricky to build political parties. It's not easy. No one should no one does underestimate that. And there will clearly be, there will be people who want to make this thing fail because
absolutely
they fear that it will succeed. That's the truth.
Totally. Totally.
And so you just got to expect that. But I mean, I guess we're all pretty seasoned veterans in this regard.
Well, that's it, and we know, don't we? We know when we look at something and we go, that's There's just something not right there. By the way, Mark Allison, thanks for that super chat. That's massively, massively appreciated.
Richard, can I just jump in here? I mean, I'm just double checking on the rules and regs, as it were. A college member can be expelled by the board if they are acting against the interests of the party or bringing it into disrepute. The decision to expel lies with the board of directors, which itself is majority 8-3 college members.
Yeah.
So
I still think signing the pledge would be a magnificent fail-safe for the thing. But yeah, no, I get that. Okay, get the football lads on board, sell footballs with the flag. Yeah, do you know what? The football lads are on board already. I mean, they come to all the demos. We all, I've known the football lads since 2017. Great guys. I was talking to one of them this morning. They, as far as I can see, they're pretty much on the same page as what we are, and they're massively supportive when we did the UKIP thing. And again, got a bad taste. All of us got a bad taste in the mouth from Farage. I mean, let's not forget why Advance UK is here. It's because Nigel Farage did not do what he was supposed to do. That's why Advance UK is here, because Farage failed to do. Advance UK is everything reform should have been, but wasn't, and that's.
I actually said I thought Advance UK is like reform 2.0, but that's not right. It's probably what reform should have been when it started. That's what it is.
Yes.
Was completely, I mean, as you rightly observe, it's a Nigel Farage fan.
Can I give you a more romantic analogy?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
So for years and years, you've been looking for the perfect partner. And you've been let down. You've been cheated on. You've been lied to. And all of a sudden, you walk into a restaurant or a bar one night and you spot the perfect partner sitting across the room and everything is just right. And you all live happily ever after.
Old romantic, Paul.
And I can just, what? I can just see Ben and Paul sitting there across a candlelit table, drinking the best wine, and yeah, I'm there. I've got a picture of it, Paul. I've got a picture of it.
Yeah, Simone,
guys, listen. I've got to say this, guys. Right, I tell you, as much as I love you all, and as much as I love what we're doing, I've got an 8-year-old here who is waiting for a bedtime story that I've promised her.
Yep.
And I will not let her down.
Absolutely.
Priorities. Family come first, Paul. Absolute top priority, that. Yeah.
Yes.
Fine.
Bless you all. I just wanted to pop on and give you a bit of support while you're waiting for the man to come on.
It's brilliant, mate. Listen, I mean, it's been one of those ones. I mean, look, this has been the best support band that that the Rolling Stones ever had. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's like the Rolling Stones had the Beatles as a support band. That's what it is. You know what I mean? It's there's three of us. Maybe it's the Jam. I don't know. But
Paul, it's good to see you, and thanks for all the stuff
you've done as
well.
Thank you so much. It's
an honor. And listen, Paul. And again, thanks, Paul and David, for sharing this on their channels, because. And this, I think this is the model that we should. I mean, we've done a lot, Paul. You've done a lot, Paul. But David, we get you into this, this team because, to me, that sort of reach, like, there's not a lot of people out there have that sort of reach, and it's it makes a massive difference that our voices are being heard,
everywhere,
and eventually, I mean, between us, like 500,000 plus.
Yeah,
more 600,000.
It's not even about the live audience; it's who watches it afterwards and how people watch afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I find about 50% of my people will watch it because they're out doing stuff. They're not. I wish they were all glued just to see me, but they're not. Half of them are. But it's that kind of big mushroom effect. On replay as well, but this is definitely the way forward. I think we all agree in that.
Absolutely.
I don't know why we haven't thought of it before now, but it's good that we've thought of it.
No,
Paul, you've got an 8-year-old to go and say, I don't want to keep.
You better get there, because you'll be getting, you'll be getting sort of, you go in there and that child's lying asleep, you're in big trouble, mate. You know what I mean? You're going to be. Your daughter's going to be at you. Your wife's going to be at you.
going to be doing my favourite thing in the world, and that is why we do what we do right now, because that's the most important thing in all of our lives.
It's what it's all about, Paul. It's what it's all about.
Love to everyone. See you soon.
Take care.
Adios,
Take
Paul.
care. Bye bye.
See you, mate.
Bye bye.
See you tomorrow, mate.
Kick me out, Richard.
Oh, do you want me to kick you out? All right.
Kick me out.
Yeah.
He's gone. There we go. Right, we can talk about him now.
Yeah, let's talk about Paul. I've got a lot of things to say about him. Yeah, no, it's good to see. But seriously, Richard, this is a really good idea that we need to just perfect.
It is, because we could have. I mean, these setups. We could have. Obviously, we've got quite a lot of advertising on this tonight, but we could have like 6 people in, 6 different YouTubers.
Yeah,
with big, get Pete from Heart of Oaks, Maya, Sargon. I mean, we've got an address book with all these guys in it. So
and this is what the Americans, our friends across the water, they're better at this than us. But I think we're beginning to get there, which is really, really good.
Well, we are.
And I think that gives us a special power. Yeah, a power to influence, to communicate, and get stuff out. I think it's great, and
I think so.
It's just doing what we do anyway. Like, it is doing what we do,
exactly.
But doing it better.
It's what the military call a force multiplier, and it's basically multiply. It's so you're bringing and what you're doing. If my brother-in-law was a tank commander in the Skilling Dragoon Guards, and he was like, he said, whenever you're going to break an armored line, he says you concentrate a massive amount of firepower in one spot at one time, and you push and you push and you push, and you break the line, and you get through. So you pick that one, and in fact the Russians tried it in Ukraine, but they got pushed back. But it's all about breaking that line, and once you've broken through, and I think that's what we can do. We can just be a force multiplier and focus all our efforts in those spots, because it means that and again it means that it takes away any rivalry, because there's no rivalry in this, because we're all in our own
but there's another benefit, Richard. They can take us out individually, but you just can't take us out all together. We're too much, and I like that sense of comradeship insofar as we all support each other, and they can't then just blank one of us, because we're all here.
Exactly. Exactly right. And I think what we've got to do, there's got to be more unity, and there's got to be more coming together, and there's got to be more communication between people that have a decent following. And look, that's not excluding people that don't have a decent following, but I think there's got to be more communication so that we can do this sort of thing. Because when Tommy gets put in prison, not when, but like previously, because we hope, we pray that never happens again, because we don't want that to happen. But when that sort of thing happens, you're in a situation where everybody's left flapping about, because the general's been taken out, but there's no structure beneath that to continue on. And I think that's something the same. So we need to protect the generals, but we also need to have good lieutenant colonels and good majors that are basically there. And again, I'm just talking about military sort of stuff. You need to have lower ranking officers that can basically say, okay, well, this guy's been taken out, but we're going to go this way now, and we're going to do this because that's what has to be done. So, because otherwise everything just kind of stagnates. So, but again, hopefully that doesn't happen again. Hopefully we're in a position, we've got to get through to 2029 without Tommy going to jail again. And we've got to basically get, we've got to win the general election with advance in 2029.
Well, I was very pleased that the police dropped their charges against Tommy at St. Pancras, I think. And that demonstrated that, they're still capable of trying to contrive situations to torture Tommy, to put pressure on him. He handled it very well, I think. But
we'll talk to him about it when it comes on. But I mean, do you know what? When that happened, and I looked at what he'd been charged, not what he'd been charged. They didn't charge him. They didn't charge him. What they were trying to charge him with, right?
Yeah.
And I saw how serious that was. I mean, like that. I mean, it's a potential life sentence with that charge. Life sentence. I mean, that's.
But it was totally suspicious. You only got to see half the video. I mean, it's so obvious he is set up, you know. And but for someone like Tommy to have to bear the stress of that, given what's happened in the past, you know, sort of year with him in the prison and stuff, like I take my hat off to him, because there's not many of us could do that, could take that pressure.
You know, I mean, the small amounts of pressure I've been under, it's very, very difficult when everything's coming at you, when it's coming at you, it's coming at you from every single angle, and you know, financially, family, you know, maybe police, a bit of police pressure, you know, and it's all coming at you, and you know, you're expecting to get arrested, you know, all this sort of stuff going on. I know what that feels like, right? And at the end of the day, and not because you've done anything wrong, just because you're a patriot. But at the end of the day, Tommy's had that times 100. You know,
easy,
like,
easy.
You know, and you know, I suppose you get calluses, and the more of that sort of stuff happens, the tougher you get. But still, in all, it's not a nice position to be in.
It's still an emotional strain on any woman, and the people that have been through this the most. But then there is an expression, you know, Richard, that says the very finest steel is forged in the hottest fires, and I think Tommy's been through the fires, so you know.
Definitely, David. What I'm going to do, David, if you just carry on chatting there for a minute, mate, I'm just going to check my phone, see.
Was he paging Tommy Robinson?
Do you know what? People are just not going to believe. People think I've just, you know, this is just a grift. Tommy wasn't coming on at all. It was all a big grift. It was, you know, say Tommy's going to come on and you get loads of subscribers. It wasn't like, honestly.
It doesn't turn off.
He's doing family stuff, and he's quite right doing his family stuff. Actually.
But no, you check away now. But as I say, I think that you know, we do have this window of opportunity between now and 2029, and we just have to win it, and it's as simple as that. And you know, politics, one thing I've learned over my many years in it is things can change really quite quick. You know, like it's only a year ago that May of 2024, June, that reform suddenly appeared. Well, you know, things change, and I think this is what people like Nigel Farage fear.
And he should fear it. He should fear it. And I mean, I'm not for a deal with Nigel Farage. I'm not. You know, if Nigel comes to Ben and says, "Okay, you know," because I don't trust him at all. You know, Nigel is not to be trusted whatsoever. So we can't do it. I'm going to go through some of these super chats here, David. So this is quite a good one. I like this. So this is Red Army Man United again. Thanks for the super. Richard, I think you need to get other YouTubers to leave a link to the pledge in their description box on their channel. There's only one YouTuber that does that in every video, and that's Patriot Movement. That's what we do need, because the pledge, I think the pledge is still very, very important.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll add it in mine. I'll do that. That's
that'd be great. If you could, David, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Police arresting in Epping to frighten off 13th, and also get people on bail conditions so they can't go to the 13th. So it's trying to take out some, you know, what they always do, try and take out the thought leadership, you know. Okay, please no general election. I agree. Do you know what? Big us discuss.
Discuss, yeah. Yeah, we see it.
We know what you're doing there, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for super. Listen, please no general election till advance is ready. Absolutely, that's where I'm at with this. We can't have.
It'll not happen. It'll not happen.
No.
I think it might happen before 2029. That's the only thing I would say. But I don't think it'll happen for another maybe 2 years. Sorry.
No, I don't think so either. Restore Britain needs to merge with Advance UK because we have a movement. Unite the Kingdom. I like Restore, but their voters are Unite the Kingdom. Yeah, well, I would agree with that 100%, Yam. I think that's completely correct. And I mean, who knows? The way things are at the minute, David, anything's possible, isn't it?
You don't know. You don't know. But a lot of people would sort of say it does. All good people want to come together, I think. And having a split. So I know you're going to read that out from Steve, but just quickly, I did see a poll today that shows, you know, a poll of who would be next Prime Minister of the UK. And Rupert Lowe was actually on that list. And then my logical argument is, well, how can you vote for him? Because he's not a party. You can't vote. You cannot vote for Rupert, so he cannot become. And that's why I think the genius of Ben Habib and those around is in putting together this entity, this thing called Advance UK.
I think so. I think so. I
Sorry.
think so. Definitely, Dave. I think you're right. I mean, because we need a vehicle. If you don't have a vehicle, and I mean, when Ben said, I was obviously, as everyone knows, I was in UKIP. I'm not going to bore everyone with that again. But I said to Ben, I says, if you set up a party, I will join. Because and I was gonna do, I was gonna chat to the NEC UKIP about folding up and coming across to advance, but there was just the rhetoric coming out was just pointless, so I just thought, well, I've got to go with what I know is right for the country. You see, advance UK, David, it's not the be all and end all. It's a vehicle to get us to our destination. Do you get what I mean? It's like, I love it, but I love my country, and I love Advance UK because I think it's going to save our country. I don't love Advance UK because it's Advance UK. I love it because it looks like the right sort of vehicle to do what's needed. And,
with the right principles and the right policies and the right attitude, actually the right attitude. I hate politicians with bad attitude, and most of ours do. All I see from Advance UK so far, it's good attitude.
Oh, it's amazing, David. I mean, when you look at some of the people, and it's not just a good attitude; it's a nice attitude. There seems to be a real camaraderie in there. That's one of the reasons I probably don't want to get too deeply involved in it, David, because I could start an argument with myself. You know what I mean?
I could do the same. I could do the same, right?
So I'm kind of going, just bite your tongue. Just. Because there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing majorly wrong with Advance UK. It's great, but it's like we all kind of have our own little foibles and our own way of doing things, and I'm probably best just staying away from everybody.
Well, I mean, as you know, I do these little daily podcasts as well as all, and sometimes in the podcast, I say something. And I'll sort of say, well, hang on a second. And I'm actually arguing back against myself.
Correcting yourself.
But for the reason that we do it in Advance UK as well, always challenge the good ideas. I mean, I just did a stream there earlier on tonight with an American doctor guy who's written a book on vaccines and stuff. And he was just sort of simply saying that the best science comes about when you're allowed to challenge and argue and debate. And it's the same in politics. Or, the problem with reform is if you argue anything, you're out in your ear.
You're
out, you're
absolutely
gone.
If you don't agree with the Fuhrer, I mean, sorry, Nigel Farage, you're gone. You're gone.
I mean,
the Bognor Regis, they used to call Hitler the Bavarian corporal. He's the Bognor Regis corporal.
Not quite as good. Well, it depends. But I know. But you should be allowed to argue and helpfully. And all I've heard from within the Advance UK regime is positive. And how do we, how should we do this? What do you think? Blah blah blah. And that's good. And
the thing is, when you say something to Benny, he comes back with an answer, a well thought out answer in seconds. I like to say, I was saying earlier, I don't bug Tommy. I'm going to bug Tommy in a minute. Actually, I'm going to send him a message in a minute.
Yeah, you tell him.
Exactly.
He's keeping an elderly gent like me.
I know.
Tommy Robinson's keeping me from my sleep.
I just say your fans are waiting.
Yeah, give him. Yeah. And when he joins, I will graciously jump off and leave it to you too, so that you can.
You might be here till midnight, David.
No, I guarantee I definitely won't be, because my wife's probably.
No, neither will I. Actually,
because my wife said you disappeared in there at 8 o'clock.
Well, the thing is, what I don't want to do, I don't want to start talking about the route unless he's on the call, because
that makes sense.
The video,
right.
because I want to make sure I'm not putting out false information. So so I want to get him on to go through the route with him. But right, thanks for everything you do for us Brits and Irish citizens, fellas. That's for you and Paul, as well as me, David, and listen, Steve, I massively appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you. Brilliant having Richard, David, and Paul. Great discussion. Can we have more of you? Yeah, I think that's a done deal, David, isn't it? I think
we recognise this is the way forward.
Yeah.
Rather than being in our individual silos, we bring it all together. And we just blast the place apart. They'll not be able to ignore us, and the voice gets out, and all the good ideas get out. So
totally. No, I 100% agree. I mean, I think the thing is, obviously tonight was ad hoc, but I mean, we could have debates, because we won't all agree on everything, and it's good. I think even, when I was saying that tonight, I was saying, should I say that about, my thoughts on different things? And I thought, you know what, we should have these debates in the open, because why talk about things behind closed doors?
Here's another angle I think that is worth looking at. Advance UK, the clues in the title, it's UK wide, it's across the United Kingdom, and there'll be things that people in here, where we are, Richard, in Northern Ireland, want to talk about. People in Wales will have other issues, Scotland, England. The beauty and the unique thing about Advance UK, it's all four parts of our United Kingdom.
Exactly.
And that means that we can chat about stuff, and I think that doing it in this kind of fashion it feels better, because
here we go. There we go. Mate, were you getting someone to log on for you there?
Yeah, I was.
So Tommy Robinson's keeping me from my bed. Tommy Robinson, a man of my age, should be in bed by this time. But I'll forgive you on this occasion.
I'm an insomniac, so it doesn't matter about me. I don't sleep, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I had
2 hours last night, man. 2 hours. I'm shattered, man. 2 hours.
Look,
I haven't stopped. I've been in Birmingham.
We'll not keep you long. David wants me to boot him out now, so he can get his Horlicks and his flipping.
I'll leave you guys to it. Tommy, good to see you, and every best wish to you, mate, as well. Okay, boot me out, Richard.
David, see you soon, mate. Adios. See you, man. Mate, how are you?
I'm all right, Rich. How are you?
Mate, do you know what? There was times during this year, and I was thinking I'd actually swap. I'd go in that flipping solitary confinement rather than what I'm going through at the minute. You know what I mean?
That's great, bruv. It's great.
I could have done it, mate. I could have done a bit of rest, but I could have swapped you. I could have got you out. You know what I mean? 1 for 1. Oh, mate. And then before we'll do this quick, because I know you're knackered as well. But I mean, that thing with that flipping geezer, man. When I saw that footage, I was just like, shit. You know?
What thing?
The thing with the St. Pancras thing.
Oh, don't! I fucking shit myself, man. I thought it was dead.
I know. It was one of those ones, wasn't it? You're just thinking. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, everybody that was doing videos was saying there's no way that this is what people are trying to make it out to be. You know what I mean? Everybody knew, but it's that doesn't really matter, does it? It's what the court's saying, what the flipping. Yeah, not a good week, man. No.
Oh, mate.
Well, anyway, look. What's that, mate? Say again.
We're going live. Come on.
Yeah, we're live now. We're live.
Are we live? Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
we're live for the last 10 minutes, mate.
I do a lot. Oh, okay.
It's a good job we didn't say anything bad there, isn't it?
I had no idea we were live. Mate. Okay.
We've been live for 10 minutes.
It's really. I had no idea we started. That's pretty lucky, man.
Mate.
How are we?
I'm doing all right. I'm still alive, mate. I'm still alive, but only just. It's been interesting. Let's just put it that way.
Michael Francesa earlier on his podcast. It was good.
Oh, he's brilliant. The Mafia guy. He is super.
Mafia guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
We had a good chat, man.
Yeah.
Got Russell Brand tomorrow.
Russell brilliant. Tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm meeting Anthony Dillon tomorrow as well. I'm seeing Anthony Dillon.
Brilliant, yeah. Tomorrow. Is that coming to the whole thing? Is he coming to the whole event? Yeah.
It's all over, man. Anne's coming. Yeah. And speaking.
Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah. Well,
nice. He seems to get it as well, doesn't he? He seems to get it.
He's a strong bloke, and he ain't going to be told how he can think or think, which is what people need. And if you're voting for Anne Middleton, you're getting him. No one's going to control him. You can see, which is what people want.
Exactly. And I mean,
you've seen this news breaking that Reform have just suspended a councillor for sharing my tweets.
No.
I've read the email from them.
Well, there's another.
You shared a tweet from Tommy Robbins. suspended from the party for bringing the party into disrepute. I'm sorry, man. It's fucking ridiculous. Labour wouldn't do that.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's absolutely superb. That's another recruit. That's another counsellor for Advance UK. That's it. In.
You know? And what is going on? Anyway,
mate.
Rich, what we
right. What I want to do, mate. I want to go through the route right with people because again, there's been a bit of sort of confusion. I've seen a bit of stuff on social media.
I'm confused myself. So yeah, let's go.
Right. Okay. So let me ask you. Right. So where do you want people coming into on the day? What station?
Blackfriars. Come off
Blackfriars.
Come off at Blackfriars.
Everybody.
Come off.
Everybody.
Blackfriars.
Right. Okay. That's easy. Right. So
it would be best if everyone headed to Blackfriars. Everyone.
Yeah.
You come off of Blackfriars. That's the closest station. You walk across the bridge. You turn. You're on Stamford Street.
Stamford Street. Yeah. Yeah.
Then you're on Stamford. Yeah. I actually think, Rich. I think that many people are going to come.
Yeah.
I think even to have a point, it's going to be difficult. I think the roundabout's going to be full. I think the roads are going to be full. I think every direction of every road of every entry is going to be full. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But preferably try and bring some organisation to it.
Yeah.
We want you coming in from Blackfriars, come off at Blackfriars, cross over the bridge. Then you've got Stamford, which is a massive long road. It'll fit hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people.
Can you see that, mate? Can you see that on the screen? Yeah. What I'll do?
I can.
Yeah.
You're going to walk it from Blackfriars, yeah?
I'll take people. So that's Blackfriars Station, right? So if you're coming into Blackfriars, that's where you go, right? And then you come out of Blackfriars and you turn left. So you're going south of the river, big, massive bridge, straight across the bridge. Everyone see that? Yeah. Is that moving okay? Yeah. Straight across the bridge. And there's a pub on the corner called the Mad Hatter, I think. Is it the Mad Hatter? So that is Stamford Street there, right? So if you get, yeah. So if you get there, that's you. That's you on Stamford Street. And if everybody fills up from that end, then we're not going to have any problems with the crowd whatsoever. Yeah. And then we go right the way up. Right the way up. Right the way up. Yeah, this is all Stamford Street, yeah. And here's the other thing, mate, right? See if we fill Stamford Street, right? That means if we fill the whole of Stamford Street, that means we'll fill Whitehall, right, and Parliament Square.
Yeah, I know.
It's massive. So it's a very good problem. And when you come up here, right, I think we've got to be quite strict. Sorry, go on, mate. No, the sound's really shit on your computer at the minute. Yeah, that's the start there. So what there'll be when you get here, right, when people get here, there's going to be a line of stewards, and we'll probably get some security blokes there as well, across that road, linking arms, and nobody is to come past that line. Yeah, I think that's a fair thing to say because it's going to create havoc if they do. Is that fair enough, mate? Yeah.
No, that's it. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's the start. So we want the stewards, lad. Stewards locked.
Yeah.
All along that road, everyone back up there, facing up that way.
Yeah.
But the point is, because some people have already got their stuff for Waterloo, but that's fine. Because if you come off at Waterloo, there's a map. We've done a map. You don't go up this road. You go up the road next to it, and you come around.
Yeah. We can show that as well. Let's just show that. So, okay. So basically, Waterloo Station's there, right? But you're not going to come out of there, right? So let's just get to Waterloo Station where you'll come out. If you have, we don't want you to go to Waterloo Station, but if you do go to Waterloo Station, let me just show you. Okay. So that is the. Where am I? No, you don't come there. Where are we? Yeah, that's the exit. Bollocks. Fucking Google Maps. Where are we? That's where you want to come out of Waterloo Station, right? Yeah. And if you come out of Waterloo Station there, then there's roads on the opposite side of the road, little sort of side roads, like one there, which is Sandal Street. Okay, you can go down Sandal Street, yeah, and you go under the bridge onto Cromwell Road, and you go straight under there, and you keep going down there, and that will bring you out onto Stamford Street as well. But what we don't want, and if you go in this way, it's going to cause massive problems. We don't want you coming up this road, right the way up to the IMAX, which is there, right? So we don't want you doing that. We don't want you coming there at all. Go through the side streets. Is that right, mate? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's good enough. Do you want to go through the route? We don't need. It's really it's just the form-up point. I think is going to be the problem because once they get there, that's it, isn't it?
come over that side. You can come off at Southwark, you can come back, you can come to London.
Yeah.
They're all there. There will be stewards at London Bridge and steward at Blackfriars directing people and steward at Waterloo. So there will be and it's all in this vicinity. So
yeah. I think the main thing is get everybody to Blackfriars. Get everybody to Blackfriars.
Everyone at Blackfriars. That's the best message. The best message is make your way to Blackfriars. And I would tell people, start coming early. Don't be thinking of coming at 12:30, thinking you get there early, because the atmosphere is going to be beautiful. It's going to be wonderful. People, I think people get there from 9, 10 in the morning. There's bars, there's restaurants. So where that is, where the Mad Hatters is, where Blackfriars is, all around there, there's bars, there's restaurants, there's cafe, coffee, pub, all that area. There's so many places there. So
there is, but I think with the muster point, mate, because we had this a couple of times. We had it in we had it twice at Victoria, but the issue is they don't want to go straight to the form up point. So by all means get into London early, but you don't want to go to the form up point straight away, because again, that's when we had problems before, when people were pushing down. We ended up with the one that we done when you were the one in October, that ended up right the way down Victoria Street. And they just pushed and pushed and pushed. So basically the march was like about 100 yards. Do you know what I mean? So we kind of, we want them there, but if they were there too early, there's no stewards there. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know. Because it always does. Because it always does. Well, the bottom line is the stewards need to be there early doors, and the stewards need to be there from 7 o'clock in the morning.
When the stewards turn up, just because there's a roundabout there, the roundabout stops it, doesn't it? Just be banging in on the roundabout.
Yeah, because there's going to be traffic. I mean, that road's going to be open, so there's going to be traffic flying around that road. So if people go forward to that line, they're going to cause unnecessary problems. So I think that's the main.
People won't, because it's a roundabout. But
exactly. It's
going to be great. That's the point. Yeah. I don't think anyone's ready for the numbers. I was explaining earlier. I was in a cafe in some random village, and the woman at the table with her son said to me, coming on the 13th, and the bloke on the other table said, mate, I've got a 52-seater coach going. And as I walked outside, another woman stopped me and said, see you in London on the 13th. It's like, that's a little cafe. Yeah, that's a cafe. I got a message earlier saying there's buses coming from Salford. Yeah, that's from Manchester. I also there's a village called Toddington. Went to a wedding on Saturday. Village called Toddington. And my mate goes, look at this WhatsApp group. And it's September 13th. There's 100 people in the WhatsApp group. Yeah, this is a little village. He said, mate, the whole village is coming. The whole village is coming. So I don't think any of us are quite ready for the numbers. I just hope we have done everything we can. We've made it as big as we can with the screens we can. I think we've got 60 toilets hired. There's 10 grand spent on toilets, I think. Yeah. But we've done everything we can to make sure that you come in and have a peaceful celebration. We want you to hear the PA system is the loudest we've ever gone for. The money spent is insane. Thank you if you've donated. I know we've been asking continuously. We are very grateful, because I think this is a watershed moment for Britain. I think it's a watershed moment for resistance of mass open border immigration. It's a watershed moment in the call for remigration. All of these things, it's really going to put it on the map. It's going to send a message to the world. Britain's awake. Britain's had enough. All those traitors in Parliament are going to get a message. Yeah, because they're all going to sit there. And it also sends a message, because we've had the likes of, again, Reform kicking people out for sharing my tweets. Yeah, Reform saying that I'm so toxic. I actually believe 1 million people are coming. Yeah, there's 1 million people who don't give a shit.
I tell you, that's the thing. One of the things that's come, seeing Northern Ireland, there's a Republican estate and a Loyalist estate. They're kind of on the opposite sides of Belfast. I'm not going to say which ones they are, but there's lads coming from those two estates, Republican lads and Loyalist lads, coming on the same flight together. You know, normally they'd be knocking 10 bells out of each other. You know what I mean? And they're actually joining together to come across. I mean, that's like unheard of. Do you know what I mean? You know, we've had a bit of it over here where people come together for demos and stuff, but like for them to actually say we're actually going to travel to London together to go to this event, I honestly think it's going to be absolutely huge. That's why I was. Yeah, so
it's going to be shocking, mate. It's going to shock.
Yeah, I think
it's going to shock the establishment, Rich. It's going to shock.
Yeah. And I think the thing is as well, just, you know, you were saying, again, I've put a link to Urban Scoot in the description of the video. Give to this. I'm going to say it, you don't have to say it, Tommy, but give to this cause, because at the end of the day, I know what these things cost, right? I've been involved in all of these events, and it costs an absolute disgusting amount of money. And if you went to, what I always think, if you went to like a pop concert, right, or you went to a football match, you're dropping 200-300 quid, right, just to go to football, or to go and see a, you know, Pink or something. You know, this is something where you're gonna have all your own people there, all the people that think exactly like you do, and you're not going to pay anything. So, you know, if you can get your hand in your pocket and support it, please do, because, you know, at the end of the day, to me, if you go into something like this, it needs the support. And if you're not coming, support it. You know, just it's got to be done. It's got to be done, mate. You look
Mate,
knackered.
Yeah, I'm shattered, bro. I'm in London all day. I'm shattered. I'm saying stop, man. But I got what was I thinking? I don't know. I am tired.
Yeah, we want to get that. Sorry, go on.
Do you know what we just done? So I said, how can they stop this? Yeah, in our last meeting, I said, how can they stop this event?
Yeah,
they could turn off the electricity. We've ordered. I'll just keep ordering stuff. Yeah, we need that. Yeah, get that. And then that 20. There was a £27,000 bill. There's another 21 grand bill. There's another 21 grand bill. I was say, yeah, we need that. But the point, because we need generators. Yeah,
yeah.
Because imagine you've got everyone there, cut the power on the road. We're fucked.
Yeah.
So I said, no, we need backup generators. We need Arctic lorries. We need lorries. So we're going to have backup generators so that if the worst happens, they can't stop it. Yeah? They can't turn the power off anyway.
You know what? That happened. I'd done a demo when you were in Nick in 2018, and I said I wanted 2 generators, and I was going, what do you want 2 generators for? And it was only a small demo, and I said, if one Jenny goes down, you got the backup one, right? And everyone laughed at me. I'm not going to say what. There was another group about a month later, did a demo. They only had 1 generator. The generator went down. You know.
Imagine what would happen on our demo. It became over. So,
I reckon we can manage.
Yeah, oh, mate. Do you know what? Every demo I get there, until I can see the screen working and hear the speakers, I'm so stressed, man.
Yeah, no.
So I just think, I just want to see.
I've been there, mate. You know.
I just want to see it working. And in the middle of that, people talk about, get it fucking working. Why is it not working yet? Yeah, and I'm looking at the time, hurry up, man. But on this one, bro, they've got to set up. They've got to build entire structures. We're building stuff from 10 p.m. at night.
Yeah. I know.
It's going to be insane.
It is.
We're putting on a concert.
That's what it is. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. People, listen. People need to give to that, because at the end of the day, you wouldn't go to a concert for nothing. So if you come in, you know, like I say, he's not asking for it. I'm asking for it. There's a link in the video. If you can give whatever you can give. It needs to be paid for.
I keep inviting more singers as well. Since not yesterday, day before. So we worked out the schedule. I've invited another band from Canada. I've invited another woman to sing, and I just keep throwing it into Aidan, saying, "Yeah, these are singing. These are singing." It's like, where the hell are they singing? Like, so we've got we've got 5 songs by Ricky's band. I've got another singer singing 3 songs, another woman singing 3 songs, another girl singing a song, another gentleman singing. There's just, but it'll be.
Mate, and you better have my song in it. You better have "Where Are the Men of England." That's got to be in there.
That's playing, but no one's singing it. We're just putting the video up.
Yeah,
Where Are the Men of England? Get here.
We want to get that to number 1 for Christmas. Number 1, mate. We want that Christmas number 1.
Wait, we're releasing a Unite the Kingdom track on the day. We're going to release the download. We're going to try and get it in the charts.
Yeah,
come on. But yeah, it's all right.
It's going to be good. It's going to be awesome. So listen, mate, I'm going to let you go because you're flipping knackered. I'm going to go through some of these super chats here, and I'll see you on Friday the 12th.
Cheers, bro. Speak soon.
Yep.
See you later.
All right, mate.
Night.
Take it easy. See you soon, mate.
Night.
There we go. So, I mean, that's, you know, there's such a buzz about this. I'm going to go through some of these super chats here. Such a buzz about all this. Honestly, I think we could have 500,000, 1 million people there. Really do think that. You know, that's what we're looking at. Absolutely, absolutely superb. And the planning that's gone into all this is just, I mean, it's just crazy. Right, so let's have a look at some of this stuff. So, Advanced UK on the Infowars platform would be a huge boost to get that. That's a really good idea, actually. Get them on Infowars. Definitely. Brilliant having David. Yeah, we got that. Praying for you, Tommy from Northern Ireland. Stay safe, and I'll be there with bells on the 13th. Best wishes. Yams, Tommy, may God bless you. Tommy, don't forget your Scottish roots with your stepdad. Also be awesome to meet up and get bite to eat with you. Love Ian, Lewis, Sharp, aka Zionist Scott. Tommy, thank you for unwavering passion, courage, and inspiration. Your energy, integrity, and determination is an example to all. What time should we be at Blackfriars? I would say get the Blackfriars from between 9 and 10. You know, so probably 10. It'd be plenty of time because it's literally a 2-minute walk around the corner. Okay. Peaceful is the biggest message. Yeah, it's going to be peaceful. It's got to be peaceful. We can't have any hassle or aggravation. It's got to be peaceful. One of our reform councillors worked at Amazon and follows Larry Fink, BlackRock WF, on his LinkedIn profile. Hi, my lovelies, definitely coming. Please put this towards the march. That's fantastic. Right, and that's it, guys. I think that's the whole lot. That was, so we did an hour and a half there. And I think that was a good stream because, again, I mean, in a way, it was actually good, Tommy, coming on later because we managed to get a lot of interaction with David, a lot of interaction with Paul. And yeah, I think it's really, you know, it's really shaping up to be something really special. So, guys, I will dive off. In fact, no, I'm going to have a look through some of these and just see what's going on in the normal chat. Do you know what? Actually, I'm going to try and get Ben on quite soon, and we could do it with Ben, David, and Paul, and we could have a really, you know, really good interview. John Evans UK. That stupid woman in Parliament said today that she wants all to have the families and kids from Gaza in the UK. Unbelievable. Okay. They have the whole thing. They have sewn the whole thing up. UTK. I don't know what to do with that. That, I think, is about the worst insult I've ever had in my life, but it's funny. Oh, man. Reform wants to wave the white flag to Islam already. I can't understand how they still have so much. Neither can I. I really can't understand it. But again, it's because the mainstream media are giving them a lot of airtime. You know. Right, guys, I'm going to shoot off here. So I think that was I don't think I've done that one already. Mark, thanks very much for that. Scroll down to the very bottom here. See what we've got. Reform of the third. We join are betrayed by a Muslim. What next? We need RL, and then maybe Ben Habib should be out in the streets with the people that the way Nickton cut. I don't agree with that. I think every horses for courses. Nick's good at that. That's not Ben's thing. I don't think he needs to do that. That's actually a good idea. I don't know what that was, Janie. Right, guys, I'm going to shoot. I think we've done all the supers. So again, everybody that came on, thanks very much. Again, I think the main takeaway from that is if you're going on the 13th, get to Blackfriars and go into Blackfriars, yeah? And that's it. Right, guys, I'm going to go. See you all soon.